guy that obviously is, really followed his dream and his passion, which is highly respectful. Because we live in a world that always pushes you to do one thing or another, but it really takes a brave heart to kind of look up beyond. Everybody wants you to do and do what you know you need to do. And so that's important to me, and so to your restaurant, to your success, and we'll also
cheers.
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 Thank you very much.
Pleasure. And thank you, Paul, for that. I know it's an important part of the tradition it represents. What I chose for us for today are the dishes out of the menu that truly represent the area, truly represent Bulgaria or Yugoslavia or Hungary or what I bring to the table to New Yorkers. The way I say it to Americans is comfort food you didn't get to grow up eating. That's pretty much a good description of what the food is, and even the atmosphere, the style, that it's kind of like the mismatch of where it's all very rustic, very Eastern European. What we wanted to create is what I saw and found in Belgrade in the nicer places that are true and authentic to the old empire, like a bistro of 100 years ago. Basically, both Austro-Hungarian and the Ottoman Empire both came to an end by the end of the First World War. So this is, by 1918, those were no longer empires. All we have now are the influence that carried on to this day. As far as the chilies, they're called here in the local market long Italian chilies. And the flavor profile is somewhat sweet and savory on most dishes, but they do like the heat. So it's usually consumed on the side. In most restaurants in Bosnia, Macedonia, Serbia, Croatia, you will find, along with condiments, a water glass with just full chilies.
And the idea is to cut it off and put it and eat it on its own.
Or just eat it. Depends on how.
How hot is it?
It's very hot.
If you compare
So-
it to, say, habanero.
It's hotter than habanero.
Hotter than habanero.
Oh, sorry. It's hotter than the jalapeno, but it's not as hot as the habaneros or the
Scotch bonnets or
the Scotch bonnets. All those. Basically, you're supposed to just take it with a hand and just bite courageously. Yeah, absolutely. Taste of Saro's pantry.
Oh, wow.
And that actually shows off exactly the tradition of curing, of preserving. What we have here are assortment of cured meats. We have jamon serrano, smoked pork loin. We have cured pork loin, and the hand-chopped chvavchich is what it's called in. No, chvavchich are those little middies. Basically, they are dry cracklings that are hand-chopped, and you're supposed to break your supska broja, those muffin-like cornbread that you see, or the corn fritters. Put a little bit of soft, fresh cheese, the ricotta cheese that we have, and some of those chopped cracklings, and then just eat those together. The ayva, the vegetable caviar, is what you have in the apple-shaped little plates, and those are a relish condiment that we use.
Everybody loves it.
What's the cheese?
The cheese is a sheep's milk kashkaval cheese from Bulgaria. It's kind of like grassy and tangy. It has kind of a depth of flavor for a cheese. This is aged 3 to 6 months, no more than that, which is why it's not quite hard, right? Semi-translucent, but it has all that residual moisture.
Pero hace las bolitas.
Firm in texture.
La bolita.
And what parts go into the sauce? Because sauce is delicious.
What relish?
The sauce.
Oh,
Adivina. No le digas, no
what
sabes.
parts of the
Adivina,
Oh,
you're
it's
Mexican.
dry
You
sauce.
name it.
No, no.
You name
What I have
Yo soy
is
mexicano, yo soy
there's a
mexicano.
company in Connecticut, in Fairfield,
No, nothing done
that I found. They have 2 stores. One is in Fairfield, that's where the factory is, and they make
Pero
what I
son mexicanos.
The only thing I bought that they don't make is
Sí, en serio, okay.
Spanish, just because we had it. Across the Dalmatian coast from Italy. These are smaller versions of the buratina on the menu. So it's fresh curd, mozzarella. We open those up from curd to order. That's why you'll have a completely different mouthfeel than you were used to with mozzarella. We just make it to order here, and the buratina means that it's stuffed with a whey-based cheese. In our case, ricotta. and make a little pork loin flour on top. Now is traditional, it's a staple Yugoslavian dish called pastel. They're part of the savory puff pastry or the savory baked items that are very famous appetizer dishes. They come in all different types of fillings with different cheeses or cheese and spinach. The pastel is classically done as a pie, and we actually also made one as a pie. But for you guys, we did it kind of that elongated shape. It's also referred to as burek. Customarily consumed with both pickles or pickled item of any kind. We have sauerkraut or pickles, pickled cucumbers. In this case, we have sauerkraut stuffed baby bell peppers, and a small cup of cultured yogurt to go along with that. Just my take on a crab cake. A little bit of cayenne, snow peas, and arugula. Inside there's also a little bit of lemon and lemon zest. And the crust itself, I like to use cornflakes and graham crackers, seasoned. Very simple, very straightforward. So your entree finally.
Everybody, guys, the entree.
We have braised short ribs, 3-week aged short ribs, and that are cooked very, very slowly overnight with aromatics. Served over what we call calzones, which are flat, square egg noodles, or Istrian egg noodles, if you want to get the term from the actual area in the world, with sheep's milk feta from Bulgaria, and a crunchy lettuce salad. Very, very simple, just to give it that crunch and some tartness and sweetness to offset that heaviness of short ribs.
Amazing. We sat down and we sang Air Supply, the Japanese version of the Japanese chunky guy who kept on looking at me and checking me
What
out.
song you guys do? A, what song you guys do? And B, did you hold hands while you were doing it?
No. We didn't hold the hands, but it was interesting.
Okay, we're doing
guys,
dessert intro.
presentation.
Yes. So, dessert. Finally, this cake. This was the cake that my grandmother used to make for my birthday.
Which is coming up in 3 days.
What?
Yeah.
Ah.
No, 2 days actually.
We
Tuesday.
gotta come back in 3 days.
Tuesday actually. 2 days.
It's on the friend and family.
Yeah.
Whenever we
bring
would
the
say
cake.
we were coming in, she would ask us, always ask us what we wanted to eat. And as far as my birthdays, I always chose this hazelnut chocolate cake. This one is, the base of it is just whipped eggs and hazelnuts. It's completely flourless, gluten-free.
Wow.
I wouldn't go as far as low-cal, but gluten-free. And it's traditionally named revaro, which is
Revaro.
the Serbian, Serbo-Croatian dialect for rib. Because it comes in these elongated, or it's usually traditionally prepared in these elongated rib tins. That's why I like to make it the same way, just with an elongated form. So it's very rustic, no wedge, doesn't look like a traditional birthday cake, but it's a slice of cake.
And not too sweet is good.
No, I don't like
the berry, what is
desserts
the berry?
that are too sweet. The reduction on top is cranberry and clove reduction.
I am excited.
And before I forget, we have a Facebook page for the restaurant already, and you can find it under Saro Bistro New York City, Saro Bistro NYC. We're already there, and sarobistro.com is under construction, but it's coming up in like 2 or 3 days.
And what does Saro mean? Is it a name or is it?
Saro was my grandma Sarah's nickname.
Oh, okay. Oh, okay, great. Oh,
Her name was Sal. Saro was how my grandfather called her.
okay, cool.
And Achit, thank you. This was delicious.
Cheers.
Cheers.
Woo.
Oh, yes.